All right.
Hey, folks.
How's everybody doing tonight? Well, we're not live.
No.
No. We were going to we want to stick in our regular time slot,
Yes.
8 o'clock Wednesdays. Normally it works. This
Holidays
week,
are throwing a wrench in
yeah,
everything.
they certainly are.
Yes, my eyes are tearing, so I'm sorry, guys, if they're all squinty.
So tomorrow night, or when you guys are watching this tonight, we're actually going to be at our daughter's house for our granddaughter's second birthday.
Yes.
And we're also going to be opening Christmas presents with the family because we're headed out of town on Friday. Got to go visit Lori's family in Florida. So
my grandmother's 99, so I'm going to spend Christmas with her this year.
So we're recording this a night early,
yes.
and so we can have it posted and ready to go for you guys tonight.
Because nobody wants to miss a thing.
Yeah, nobody wants to miss anything, for sure, right?
Right.
All right. So for those of you that don't know us, I'm Corey.
I'm Lori.
And we are the Carnivore Journey crew. We've been doing Carnivore now for 140 days.
That's week 20.
That is 20 weeks.
20 weeks.
Eating carnivore.
Wow. So how many months is that?
Yeah, that's
3, 4.
It's almost 5 months. I mean, not quite.
Who can do the math faster?
If you have it all depends. Yeah, not exactly, but 4 weeks in a month, and that's 5 months. So we're not quite there yet.
Yes.
End of the month will be.
Yeah.
If you're counting calendar months, at least.
Yes.
All right. Anyway.
Sorry, I got to stop track.
Enough distractions. So we are on this journey to not only lose weight, get in shape, but also get our health back.
Mm-hmm.
We're, dare I say, both in our 50s.
I'm just barely.
Just
in
barely.
My 50s.
But so,
but health starts to matter.
It does start to matter more as you get older.
Change and
yeah.
And numbers go up, and
the numbers are not where you want. Right. And okay, the doctor says they're going to put you on this medicine and they're going to put you on that medicine. And oh, well, we need to control this. And you start to think, well, okay, I didn't used to have these problems. I didn't used to wake up in the morning achy and sore and barely able to drag myself out of bed. Right.
Tired all the time. Just feeling in a fog.
Yeah, the brain fog, everything else. Well, 20 weeks in, I can say for me, those are a thing of the past.
Mostly for me.
Mostly,
yeah. I mean, sinus issues, which I don't know where they're coming from, but
yeah,
which is weird.
So
in the middle of the night, but
yeah. So if you're new here, we would like to take this moment to ask you to subscribe. That's how you let us know that you enjoy our content and you want to see more. Also lets YouTube know that people like you like the stuff that we're putting out. And so they'll recommend us to more. And our goal in this channel and talking about the carnivore way of eating is to bring it to more people's attention. And the way we do that, with all the cards stacked against us in the world, because nobody wants to talk about carnivore. Well, that's not healthy, and all this other stuff.
Cholesterol.
Yeah, they want to talk about your cholesterol. Oh, you're gonna die of a heart attack. Blah 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 blah.
That's all you do is eat meat. How have you had your cholesterol checked lately? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Anyway, you can let the doctors talk about cholesterol and stuff. I'm going to talk about all the positive benefits.
But before you get into that, if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up too.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, my thumb's hiding. Thumbs up.
Give us a thumbs up. That means a lot to us. And please, please, please leave comments.
Yes.
We love reading the comments. We love interacting with people that are watching our videos. It really makes it worth our time.
Ask us questions. Let us know if you want us to talk about something specific, or if maybe we touched upon something and didn't, go far enough, or you want us to talk about more detail.
Yep.
Let us know.
Absolutely. And so we do have a question that was posted in one of our comments almost 2 weeks ago that we didn't get around to last week. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. But before we get into that, so let's give an update on our weight loss, which, like most people, we started this as a weight loss journey, right?
Mainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, mainly because Laurie was wanting to go back to keto, and
because it worked for me.
Yeah. I mean, it worked for both of us as far as the weight loss goes. And there were some health benefits as well. We saw some things getting better.
Yes.
But it was fairly difficult. So for us, but we can get into that a little bit later. Yeah, you can check our other videos, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later here when we talk about the purpose of this video tonight.
Yes.
But so I am down this morning. I'm still kind of dealing with a stall. I was bouncing back and forth between 253 and 255. Now I'm bouncing back and forth between 250 and 252. So that's still around 60 pounds down on carnivore. So non-scale victories for me. Well, I've already talked about the fact that I had arthritis in my left knee. That was diagnosed last year. I went through cortisone shots and got meloxicam prescriptions. No more shots. Not taking the prescription. I was also taking 2 different kinds of turmeric every day just to keep that pain at bay and keep from having to wear a knee brace and use a cane. And guess what? No pain. Gone. I went to the doctor this past week, talked to her about my blood pressure medicine, which I had already weaned down from a full 20 milligram pill. I was breaking it in half, taking half of one of those for the past few months. My blood pressure was 120/73, and talked to my doctor. Well, should I take one every other day? She's like, nope, that's not the way blood pressure pills work. You can try just stopping it altogether. So
yes, because apparently what she said was once it's out, it's out.
Yep.
So you don't really even have
once
to
24 hours has gone by,
you
know what your blood pressure is going to be without medication. So now,
good job, Corey Bryson.
So at the moment, do they not know your name? I am completely drug free. So no drugs anymore.
Well, not that you're taking by mouth anyway. You are still you still got those yucky habits. You can edit that out.
So anyway, no heartburn anymore. I used to get heartburn all the time. I wake up in the morning. For the most part, I feel refreshed. I don't get out of bed and have a lot of pain and soreness and stiffness. I used to take before I was taking the meloxicam, I took a naproxen every night when I went to bed, just so I wouldn't be as sore and stiff all night long. And don't do that anymore.
It's wonderful.
Yep.
And there is one more non-scale victory I have to add about you.
Okay.
Okay, so his favorite place to go to eat was Mexican all the time. Like that was we had to go all the time. And we went to Mexican tonight, and he did not have any chips and salsa.
No.
He moved them away from him, and I was very, very proud. That was hard. I know that was hard for you, or it may not have been hard, right?
Yeah,
it would have been normally, but
yeah, normally it would. When we were keto, it was just about impossible. You know, when we were keto, I'd take the chip and scoop the salsa up and eat the salsa off the chip, and if the chip broke a little bit,
if it broke,
what are you gonna do? But no, I didn't really have any desire to eat it. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, good thing.
Yeah,
because the way I used to eat, I would have eaten a couple of baskets of chips and a couple of bowls of salsa before my meal got there. Now, I just had a couple of ribeyes.
I had one. We had two.
Yeah.
So
They were thin. They were like that thick.
I mean, it was a lot
They
better than I
tasted good.
expected, though.
Yeah.
It really was.
I mean,
I was like, a steak at a Mexican place? No, okay.
yeah.
It was pretty good.
Ordered medium rare, but it came out more like medium well. So
I saw a little pink.
yeah.
Well, that was good though.
But yeah,
Anyway,
it was still
anyways,
good.
I digress. I just wanted to acknowledge that that you did not eat the chips.
Yep.
And then apparently he didn't want any. So
No,
that's awesome.
I was fine without them.
Yay.
All right. So what about you?
Well, some of you may know that I went out of town this past weekend because I had some family obligations, and I was really anxious about it. And so I did the best that I could with what I had. I also made a plan and brought food with me, to make a long story short. And when I came back, I weighed myself the next day because I was like, oh God, where am I going to be? So I had talked to my dad the week before, who was at the same place that I was, and he gained 4 pounds. And so I came back and I lost a pound. So
Nice.
I'm now 21 pounds.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I haven't weighed again because I don't weigh all the time, but I did kind of want to see where I was at and how I did. So I'm happy to report that.
If I weighed once a week, I would be trending down. Wouldn't even notice those daily fluctuations, but that's just in my nature.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that feedback, test. And
that's because you lose weight fast and you like to see it. Someone that loses weight slow like me, and anybody else out there who loses weight slow, don't weigh all the time. It's frustrating because you lose weight slow and you don't see the results. So if you weigh occasionally, weekly, once every other week or whatever it is, even if you gain a little, you're going to see, well, for the most part, there's that trend after a while. So
all right, so I'm going to pull up the question that was asked to us in the comments, and so I'm not going to be able to put it on the screen, but here we go. It says, do you look at this as a diet or a long-term lifestyle? It seems that like a lot of people who go in this direction see positive results initially, but they find it unsustainable long-term, though I'm not really sure why that is. What are your thoughts on that? I'm considering it myself, but I want to do something I can stick to. I've tried different diets from time to time, but nothing I could stick with long-term. I was either hungry all the time and didn't feel satisfied, so I would stop doing it and gain the weight back. All right, so that's the basics of it. They said that they had tried keto for a while, but had a lot of cravings and felt sluggish.
I can touch upon that.
Yeah. So let's delve into this. Which
part do you want to dive into first?
Well, is it just a means to an end, or is this really a lifestyle?
That's interesting that you say that, Corey.
Yeah.
Because that was asked tonight. I think we had that conversation.
Yeah, we did with our dinner guest.
Yes. And so for me, when I talk to people, I kind of tell them it's, I had done an elimination. So like my numbers were borderline, and I said that I did an elimination. And instead of saying that, sorry, my brain's not working very fast tonight. Instead of saying that I gave up this and I'm only eating that, and this, that, and the other, if I stick to elimination, I'm like, I had inflammation, and what doesn't have any kind of inflammation in it? It's beef. And so that's where I started. And you know what? I've been feeling so great that I might not want to put more stuff in. And people can relate with that a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, I want to be like, no, this is my lifestyle. I love it. I feel great. It's easy. Sometimes foraging can be a little challenging, but not in a bad way.
I think it's
I'm sorry.
I think it's easier to forage on carnivore than it was on keto.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Well, you can get vegetables anywhere.
Yeah, but you're going to go order what? A salad, and then you're going to have some kind of crappy seed oil dressing on that salad.
Mm.
Um, unless you're just getting a salad with olive oil and vinegar, which is a possibility.
Well, and
But let me back up a little bit. When we did keto, we did clean keto.
yes.
We did paleo primal type keto.
Mhm.
More primal because we
We wanted
included the
cheese.
cheese and dairy. So
Yeah.
yeah, but so yeah, when we did keto, that's the way we did it. But we made lots of interesting stuff when we did keto.
Mhm.
But that was kind of the problem too. The food prep took so much time. And it's not that I didn't like keto. I enjoyed it. I lost weight. I was feeling better. Um, but I we ran out of time.
Yes.
It got to the point I was working sometimes 80 hours a week. I was eating on the go, just whatever I could happen to grab. And I also did all the meal prep when we did keto, or most of it. And there was just no time.
Right. And I wanted to touch upon too, they talked about in that question having cravings and being on keto.
Yeah.
And with keto, you are allowed to have sweeteners or monk's fruit or sugar alcohols.
Right.
And that sweet tastes and all of those sugars do encourage cravings. And so that is one of the reasons, on top of a few, that we don't want to do keto.
Yeah. Whether it was monk's fruit, stevia, erythritol, which everybody's come out against erythritol now. They found out it's bad for you, whatever it was that it's doing.
I still like monk's fruit.
Yeah. Well, I did too. I
But
mean,
I'm a sugar
hey, this is
addict.
great. But we found doing keto that we didn't conquer those cravings.
No, I
So
ate chocolate all the time. Dark
yeah,
chocolate.
we were eating
90+%.
Lily's chocolate because it was sweetened with stevia and monk's fruit or whatever it was.
Mhm.
And so we never really tackled that craving monster and that sugar addiction. So let's take a quick pause here.
Well, let me say one thing really quick.
Yeah.
I will say that when I lost all that weight on keto, my sugar numbers cut in half, like decreased by a little more than half. So even though we were doing that sugar, in that respect,
You're talking about your insulin
yes.
and your
So in that
metabolic.
respect, yes, it does work, but the cravings still are there.
Right. And if you're dealing with an addiction, then moderation probably isn't the answer. And a substitute may not be the answer.
May make it harder for you.
So if that's you, if you're dealing with sugar cravings and a lot of things like that, and you're still using artificial sweeteners, fake sweeteners, natural flavoring sweeteners, whatever the heck it is, whatever you want to call it, whether it's aspartame or erythritol or monk's fruit or sorbitol or whatever it is. If you're still using those things and you're still having cravings, then maybe consider cutting that out. Because when we went carnivore, we cut out all sugars, all sweeteners, until one day I got a free sample of flavored electrolytes. If you know, you know. Yeah.
So good.
They taste delicious. And this was probably a month or so in.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. And both of us.
It was in October.
Yeah. Both of us within an hour.
Oh, yeah.
We're having cravings like crazy for all different kinds of things. And
I went back and looked at the ingredients.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that they were sweetened with stevia.
I did not know. I did not know.
Yeah. I didn't think much about it because, when I did keto, I used all that stuff. I drank Zevia, the stevia sweetened sodas. I drank those all the time. And you just don't really think about it until you've completely eliminated it. And then you try it, and then all of a sudden you have cravings. And we wonder why so many people um, that you see are falling off
And they
of
struggle.
plan, and they struggle constantly. And honestly, I know if I were using these sweetened products every day, I would be struggling a lot more too.
Mhm. I wouldn't
I
be
don't
able to
know that
do
I
it.
could stick to plan.
Mm-mm.
I really don't know that I could do that. It's so much easier when you're an addict, a sugar addict, to just eliminate it. Say, no,
And
I'm
that's
not
what I had
doing
to do.
anything even
Mhm.
close to that. I mean, if you're an alcoholic, are you drinking near beer? Is that really a good idea? Probably not. What's the difference between a sugar addict using some sort of natural sweet flavors
Mm.
stuff? So,
You know what does help me? I've been drinking a lot of tea, especially since it's getting colder, and chamomile. It's a little on the sweeter side. So it's not sweet, sweet. However, it does help sometimes if I'm like, I could go for something, or whatever. You have that thought and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna have some chamomile. But then other times it doesn't necessarily work because then you're like thinking sugar. But for the
mhm,
most part, I've had that where I've drank some chamomile
right.
and I felt good. Like I was like, oh, okay, I feel good.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like we're 100% plant free.
No,
Yeah.
and I do find that the more tea I drink, I get like eh, there's some scratchiness or dryness in my throat, and I'll stop drinking it.
Mhm. It's probably from the tannins in the tea.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Because I
it's
did,
cold here. I'm
yeah,
drinking a hot tea right now. So,
I cut it out when we first started, and I started bringing it back slowly, more slowly, and then as it got colder and colder and colder, I'm starting to drink more tea.
yeah.
But yeah,
So, but to each their own. This is not a one size fits all
mm-mm. Do what
diet,
works for
and
you.
nobody here is saying that you're doing it wrong or anything else. You do you. But if you're struggling, that might be something to consider
Hmm. Or at least
because,
look at the ingredients,
yeah,
see if you're missing something. Maybe you don't know.
yeah,
Like I didn't know. I went back, so I was like, "Oh my god, this is delicious!" Yeah, and then all I wanted to do was drink it, and I think I sucked. I don't drink. I'm not a fast drinker,
yeah,
but
that's
I
for sure.
sucked that thing down in like I don't know minutes, seconds. I don't know. It was so good. That was the last time I ever had
Yeah.
that. So there
We
you
got
go.
a bunch of those samples left. If anybody wants, no, we make our own electrolytes now,
Yes.
and I've shown you the real lime that I put in my electrolytes and such.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I, number 7 here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean that's what we were getting to.
Yes, that's actually a pretty good transition. The
We're
next
kind
thing
of all
on
over
the
the
list.
place tonight.
These
We
holidays
read
are
the
really
question.
hurting us.
Yeah.
It's
We read
crazy.
the question. So now we're trying to answer that question. But the question basically is the carnivore diet difficult to maintain? And
In my opinion, I don't think so. There are struggles at times
yeah,
because you want to try and be good, and then when you are doing really really well and you're feeling great, and then you go out or something, and then you know are you still staying as good as you do when you're home, and then you're out, and then you don't want to
right.
obsess and stuff like that, and if you do misstep, you know try to bring it back in and stuff like that. So I think the mental part of it, if you can get that mindset and really you know encourage yourself and not beat yourself up, I think in that respect it would be easier to maintain because you can find meat. And I
Yeah,
mean,
you
for
can.
me to even say I was looking for a McDonald's today, which sounds really weird because I never went to McDonald's, but I was looking for
Never.
a McDonald's to get a quarter pound burgers because I was hungry and I wanted to eat.
Yeah,
So I knew that it was safe that I could eat some quarter pound
right.
burgers.
So I would say, yeah, biggest struggle is, well, anytime that you change your diet to the point where you can't walk into any restaurant and order, straight off the menu, it's going to be a bit challenging. And we've gotten used to that in this country and other countries as well, is, food is readily available. You can walk into, the gas station and pick up something to eat if you're hungry. Yeah, that's not always possible with this way of eating. So you have to be give it a little bit more forethought and plan ahead. Or know those little cheats, like, oh, you can go to McDonald's or another burger restaurant.
I can share what I did
gotta
today.
search for the right ones, but a lot of them, the hamburgers are cooked in their own grease. So
Yeah. And so I didn't find a McDonald's today. And so I went to a supermarket and I was looking around and looking around. I was like, man, it's not good. It's not gonna satiate me. This, that, and the other. And I was a little discouraged. And I went to walk out. And as I was walking out, I was probably halfway because I was in the back of the store, probably halfway there to leaving. I said, pre-cooked bacon. And I said, excuse me, where's your pre-cooked bacon? And they told me where it was. And I went back there, bingo. There was all kinds of pre-cooked bacon. And you know what? I bought 2 boxes and I ate one of the boxes. There was only like maybe 15 little tiny strips, but
yeah.
Yes. And let me tell you what, it worked. And I wasn't hungry. I was satiated. And that's something. Even if you have it at home and you take it with you, this way you always have it. So that was it. It was very helpful.
Yeah. So that's probably the most difficult thing. I think if you get in the right mindset and realize that this is a way of life, you're doing this for your health, to improve your health. You're eliminating all the stuff that's killing you. We know what that stuff is. And you make that decision, it's not really that difficult to maintain. It is so much easier to cook with this way of eating.
Says you, the one that can grill really good. I'm not.
I answered that person. I said, when we were doing keto, I would spend an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours trying to make all these different keto meals, whether it was crack slaw or tacos with the cheese shells and all these different things. And then we would make the keto treats and all the other stuff. But even just getting a basic meal down, there was so much prep and so much work that went into trying to make that happen, that if you didn't have the time, you were just in trouble. You were just out of luck.
It was a lot harder.
It was a lot harder.
Yeah.
Now, even if I forget to take a steak out of the freezer the day before, I can come home, take a steak out of the freezer, throw it in a sink full of cold water, have it thawed in 10, 15 minutes. If I don't have time, if I'm busy with other stuff, I hate to do it, but I can throw it in the air fryer and cook that steak in there. I'd much rather take it out on the grill, but
sometimes it's too cold.
So right now it's a little bit too cold. I try to fire up my grill and it'll take me an hour just to grill that steak because it doesn't get hot enough.
Here we go going quick, and then no. So you have to.
So you do what you have to do, but still, I can have a dinner ready for us in well under an hour, and not a lot of muscle or work that goes into it. So, as far as is it easy to maintain? Sure. Super easy.
In our opinion.
In my opinion. I mean, you can go anywhere, get a burger patties and have a meal. Pick up bacon or, cook off a couple of sheets of bacon. We buy the big boxes of bacon and, they come on parchment. Just throw that on a baking pan, throw it in the oven, and boom, bake off several sheets of bacon. Then you've got your pocket bacon or purse bacon or refrigerator bacon, something all ready to go. So
bacon. Yeah.
All right. So is it a lifestyle or a diet?
In my opinion?
Yeah.
I think it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. I would agree. I'm in this for the long haul. We've already committed. We talked about it last week. We've committed to our next cruise being a carnivore cruise. And
Well, you committed.
I committed.
Yeah.
What, you going to change it?
I'm going to probably be 90% carnivore.
Come on.
I'm going to do what I can to stay as carnivore as I can.
Okay.
And we've made strides to do that.
Yeah.
But if I have, an alcoholic beverage, that is not 100% carnivore. So I'm
okay.
just being honest
Okay.
with you guys.
That's true.
I'm laying my cards out.
Yeah. If I have an alcoholic beverage, it's most likely going to be on a cruise. But
Yes.
it's going to be.
And there will be no sugar in it.
Yeah. No sugars, no, it's like I'm getting a
Fruity,
beer or
Yeah.
a pina colada. It'll probably, if I have something, it'll be something like
No
vodka
sugar.
and soda
Yeah. So water.
with a lime, maybe.
No Diet Coke for you.
Nope, no Diet Coke. Done with the Diet Coke.
Yay.
So just water.
Yeah. So yes.
Yeah, I see this as a lifestyle. I'm not planning on making any changes to that. I posted somewhere online on Facebook today. Someone was asking about carnivore get-togethers.
I saw that.
You saw that?
I did see that. I did. It's too early to talk about it though.
I can give a little teaser, can I?
Yeah, you can.
All right. So be on the lookout. Probably New Year's Eve. We're going to do a special episode to talk about an upcoming group cruise.
Adventure.
We've already got it in the works. It's already.
Even said they should have just said an adventure.
Yeah. Okay. Upcoming adventure.
Too late now.
With other carnivores. Oops.
No need to watch now because you already know what it is.
No, all the details. We're going to put the details.
Okay.
We got to email our travel agent and get the current information, and we'll put all those details on how you can join us on our group cruise that will be next year, November of next year. So,
oh my God, with all the information.
Wow.
You got to edit this out. It was supposed to be a big reveal.
Okay.
And you just revealed.
I just revealed. So what?
Good thing we're not live.
Oh, you're going to see it anyway.
You heard it here first.
But come see that episode if you're interested. And you can get all the details, where we're going, how to get in on it, and how to come along with us.
Golly.
Sorry.
He's a little excited
I'm throwing
about
it out there. Yeah. I mean, we were doing this for, and I decided, well, there's some carnivores that may want to do this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the more the merrier, because we're going to be eating carnivore on that cruise.
Yeah.
For sure. And anyway, all the details coming in a little while, another week and a half or so. So anyway. All right. So yes, I think we both agree that we see this as a lifestyle. We're not planning on going back. And we've done the same thing. We fell off of keto because it was difficult to maintain. We fell off of, we did paleo primal before that. And we fell off of that because it was difficult to maintain. We've done so many different diets in our lives. And most of the time you fell off it because it was difficult to maintain, or you didn't maintain the right mindset, or you got close enough to where you wanted to be and you're like, that's good enough. Well, there's a different plan this time.
Right. And I was sitting here thinking as you were saying that. So what makes this time different? So there's a few things, I think. Yeah. And that is it's easier to work with. There's of course not as much prep involved. There's really no cravings if you've cut out all that sugar. So what else makes it different?
Well, I'm not 25, 30, 35 years old anymore. Number one, it's not as easy to lose the weight as it was when I was younger.
That's one.
I've got health issues that I can't just brush aside and
Two.
not worry about anymore. I mean, I probably should have worried about them when I was younger, but
Right. So health.
you know, um,
3, mindset.
mindset. Yeah. One good thing about growing older is that
You have more conviction in your
yeah,
in
I
your
mean,
choices.
you've got a better understanding of how your brain works, how it's wired, and how to get it to do what you want it to do,
Okay.
and how to stay in that correct mindset. So,
Okay. Anything else?
oh, what you got?
What do we have so far? Health.
Seriously?
No, I think we've said it all.
Yeah.
Because and I think of this because when I was at the doctor going over my labs, and I guess a month ago, she kept speaking about and what happens after, and it really got me to thinking. Well, you're already thinking I'm going to fail, and
Yep.
I don't have that mindset right now, because I really think that I can do this. And so that's why when you were saying all that stuff, I was like, okay, well, what makes this different? Because that's what somebody else is thinking too. You've tried this, you've tried this, you've tried that, and it didn't work. So why is it going to stick this time? I think we're stronger in our conviction.
Yeah,
Specifically,
I do.
We're seeing the results. We're feeling better. It is easier to maintain, and you can do it on a budget. Ground beef, eggs,
Yeah.
butter, burgers. I mean, it's possible. You can get probably a little bored, but
Yeah.
but it can work that way.
And that kind of is the next question. Is it expensive?
Depends on what you want to eat.
Depends on what you want to eat. You probably heard from our episodes so far that we eat a lot of ribeye. But we eat a lot of ribeye because we get it at $6 a pound. I made a trip back in October, was it?
We saved up a bunch of money.
Saved up a bunch of money.
Get a pretty big haul.
Went down to the packaging store that's about an hour and a half away from our house, and we bought 7 or 8 primals of ribeye. We bought some New York strip. We bought some sirloin, and brought it all back. Cut it up, stuck it in the freezer. Cut it up, put it in vacuum seal bags, and threw it in the freezer. So we've been eating on that for months now.
Yeah. And if you're unable to do that, chase the sales. They always have sales.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when you're not buying all that other junk, the chips and
as much money,
and the sodas and the crackers and
ice cream
and candy and blah 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 blah, right on down the line, all that different stuff that you spend money on going out, and eating at McDonald's or Taco Bell or whatever, where you're spending $8 to $10 on a meal. Okay, my 1 pound ribeye cost me $6. Even if it's not a ribeye, if you can only get a sirloin steak and throw some butter on there to get the fat in, well, that's what you do. Or you buy ground beef, or you go to what was it that we bought? We bought those 8 hamburger patties, quarter-pound hamburger patties at Walmart. So it's 2 pounds of hamburger, and it was what, $2.97 a pound, or less than $3 a pound.
And I bought it.
Yeah. And cook those things up, 4 of them, makes a perfect meal. I put a pat of butter on top of each one, salt them real good, and that makes a perfect meal.
And I love eating ground beef with egg and cheese.
And that's butter. Less than $3.
Yeah.
And it's a very tasty meal, So it's not expensive. It's going to be as expensive as you make it.
Right. You can do things on a budget. You may get bored of eating some of that stuff. So maybe save a little money and then you splurge one night or two,
And, I could have ribeye every night if I wanted to, but change it up a little bit.
Have some fish occasionally.
And so I had, 3 pounds of hamburgers over the weekend and including last night, and I loved it. It was great. So, it wasn't that expensive. A good budget way to eat, or you can just take straight ground beef, fry it up in a pan, and
Throw
eat it.
some butter in there.
Throw some butter in there, some salt,
An egg.
whatever spices
you're
or
doing
eggs.
that.
Yeah,
You're
you
doing
can
that. Yeah.
throw some eggs in there and cook those up, and then you've got a nice little scramble bowl, power bowls.
Try not to make it too complicated.
Yeah.
Keep it easy. It's a lot
It can
easier.
be cheap
if you,
as cheap or as
do it.
easy as you want it to be, and you'll still get the benefits.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Doesn't take anything special. Doesn't take anything fancy. So eat your meat.
That's okay.
It sure is. Well, yeah, I think we've kept you guys long enough tonight. So
you guys don't want to listen to 40 minutes of us.
Yeah, listen to us rambling on about our thoughts on things. Yeah, we're 5 months in, not quite 5 months into this way of life. So what do we know? Well,
we just know what we're doing, and we're sharing that with you.
Absolutely.
What's working, what's not.
And it's our story. Your story may be different. Your mileage may be different, but we're sharing with you what works for us.
Be sure to let us know those things too, so that we maybe can share your story, what works, what doesn't work, so that we can say, hey, this has worked for us, but it may not work for others. And, this is work. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. If you survived to the end of this,
good job.
Good job. Kudos to you. We are out for now, but remember, stay strong, stay motivated, and eat meat. We'll catch you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.